Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Paula, also known as the Snail Garden on social media, and I have an Etsy shop, Eva Faith, where I sell hand-dyed linen for cross stitching. I will put all the links in the description box below where you can find me. This is the point where I usually say this is my August vlog, and put in a vlog and then come back and share my projects with you. But I'm going to change things up a little bit. I've been doing a monthly vlog for quite some time now, and I thought it was time for a change for several reasons. So this video is going to be about all the projects I have been working on or have finished since the last time I recorded, which I think was possibly at the end of April. Time really got away with me and we've been very busy since. So this is a little bit of a catch up, and then I will be putting in occasional videos of my projects, of travels and maybe days out. So there'll be more shorter videos rather than one long one, which hopefully might be a little bit more interesting. So these aren't in any particular order, but these are things that I have made since my last recording, and started with getting ready for some workshops I was doing at Cowslip down in Cornwall. And I needed a project bag, or more of a tote bag, this one, to take everything to the workshops. Now this central panel I stitched at a Lisa Mattock workshop several years ago at Alexandra Palace, the knitting and stitching show. And my plan all along was to turn it into a bag. And I bought this pink ticking fabric, and I already had this Blackbird sampler fabric. And I have turned it into a bag with a box bottom, as you can see, which was quite big for all my projects. I was going on a Stacy Nash two-day workshop and a Maggie Bonan two-day workshop. So I made some project bags for the individual projects to keep myself organised when we were away. And that one has Blackbird fabric. And some lace and a little zipper pull with a thimble. And I reversed the fabric for this one. And this one has a little zipper pull with some scissors. And my third one, I have put a stiffer lining in it, interfacing in it. And this is a French General fabric. It's the same inside and out. And I made this a little bit stiffer because it was for taking my needlework scissors in. And this one has got a little button charm So as we've started, oh, one more item. I had to jump on the travelling sewing box bandwagon, and I particularly wanted a little red case. When I was a child, I had a little red vanity case that we used to take on holidays, and my mum has got some things in that at the moment, so I thought I'd like a little case again. And I bought this in the sales from Wolf because it would have been quite expensive otherwise. And I'll show inside first. This is a vintage pattern, and I found this on the antique patternlibrary.org, and they are an organisation who are preserving antique patterns by digitising them so they don't get lost. And it's all sorts of needlework. This was in the cross stitch section, and I've chosen my own colours, and it's on 40 count birch that I've hand dyed, and I've put some Lady Dot Creates pom-pom trim around the outside and some lace edging. And I already had the scissors charm and this button, and so I've made a flower and hold it a little closer, and on the other side is a little yo-yo, and this is a needle minder, and all the buttons apart from this one came from my grandmother's button box. And if I try and tilt it, oops, inside you can see I made a pincushion and a needle case and a tray as an insert, because the sewing box, the jewellery box, came with a little travel jewellery box that you can take out. So I removed that and made my own tray. And this is the needle book I stitched, and it has the Blackbird fabric. I think I've used practically every scrap of that. And inside I have some wool that I have buttonhole stitched around the outside. There's a threads I was using. I'm using it as a thread bed as well. And a little pocket which fits a little pack of needles in the front and back. Another one of my grandmother's buttons. And a little pin cushion that is all French General fabrics. And the tray, I'll lift that out separately. The tray again is French General with a little bit of the lace around it. And I made the tray out of cardboard. There were some Amazon boxes. And I believe this is a cereal box. And I've lined it and it has some padding in it. And at the bottom, I have just lined it with some roses paper. Just put those all back together. This was very handy. So that was very useful to hold everything when I went to Cowslip. The first of the 2 workshops I went on was Stacy Nash cross stitch workshop, and our kit came in this little bag, and inside was the chart for this sewing roll, and the fabric and all the finishing fabrics, and of course all the threads, which I don't actually have here, and this little needle case. Hold our needles as we were working. And at the same time I also treated myself to another little wooden case. Just unwrap it again. I wrapped it up again. I have had it open. And this one is a little scissor case. And it came with these little scissors, and there's a place for a needle. I just move the crinkles out of the way. And this is on fabric by Needle Bling Designs, and as you can see, I am part of the way there. The house took quite a while to complete, and I'm now doing the grass underneath. Really need something behind it. Try and hold this booklet. Is it better? I have made a couple of changes. This heart was meant to be solid. I'm going to leave mine just as a double outline. And the centre of the flowers I have put an eyelet stitch instead of 4 crosses. And the cat is meant to be white, but I think I'm going to do it black because of Morris. Morris was my cat, whom sadly we lost earlier this year. The second workshop was by Maggie Bonan, and we were doing this beautiful wall hanging. And all the linen and wool was dyed by Tanya of Blackbird Primitives, who was also at the workshops. Now, because I haven't had time to stitch on this, this is as I left it rolled up. It's quite big, so hopefully it's not too crinkled. And we'll just go back first. I will try and insert some photos of this. on the first day I put the background pieces in. I can't see the camera, so I don't know quite what you're seeing. And on the second day I did the ship, which I found a little bit fiddly. It looked more like a shipwreck to start with. And then I started putting together this urn, which is going to have some flowers on it. I just pinned those in position. Absolutely loved doing this. But when I came back, it was full-on gardening. And we are now full-on decorating, so I have still found time to do a little bit of stitching, like I filled in the house. And then somebody asked me to dye some fabric for the heart on this My Dear Hearts by Blackbird Designs. And of course I then had to dye a piece for myself and stitch it. And this is a deep raspberry. This was a one-off colourway. I'm hoping to try and dye a piece of velvet to put on the back to fully finish this. But our house is turned upside down at the moment because we're decorating every single room. So I really haven't had a chance to do any dyeing. That's why there hasn't been a shop update either recently. I then got distracted by Bobbin, the Animal Crackers series. I have quite a few of the Animal Crackers series, including the 3 new ones. And Bobbin is stitched on my 40 count birch. Find that. She's very sweet. And I have stitched a little pin pillow as well. It's looking a bit dark there. It's a bit light, a bit brighter the colours are really. And these are all stitched in the called for colours. I've got a lot of finishing to do. I also then started stitching A Walk Through the Garden by Stacy Nash. And I've started stitching this one. And I've only got as far as the outline at the moment. This is on some 40 count fabric. And I haven't named this one. Sort of a taupey grey colour. I'm hoping to do all 3 of these on here, and I'm using the called for colours again. I'm sorry I don't have any of them to hand at the moment. A lot of these you will see again as I fully finish them. During August it is my mum's birthday, and so I am stitching a version of this, Flowers to My Mother, by Twinpeak's Primitive. And I've used all the called for colours, but I've done some slight adjustments. And this one is, Jesus, checking. This one is on 32 count Glacier. and it's stitched 2/2, and I have made some alterations. I haven't put the heart on the basket or the bird on top, and this is going to be a little square lavender pillow, or quite a big lavender pillow. It's probably a bit better, the colours. I will put all the details of each piece in the description box below, because I've forgotten mostly to say whether they are stitched 1/2 or 2/2. It's been a while. Those are the only cross-stitch projects I have been working on, apart from one which I have stitched and gifted, and I will pop a photo in of that, and that is a Threadworks primitive free pattern that I used my own colours for. Still. Next up, I have some knitting projects. Now this one is the Margot cardigan by Along Avec Anna, and I am using 4-ply yarn from Bird Street or Mr. B's, and the colourway Ephemera. And as you can see, I am part of the way down the body. It's also looking a bit creased because I haven't knitted on this just recently. And it has a raglan lace increase for the sleeves and a lace pattern down the front each side. I'm hoping to get a little bit more of this done soon. It's been far too hot for knitting recently though. I would say it's been far too hot for doing anything, but I was painting our bedroom walls and ceiling on the hottest days. The next project is 24 birds. I haven't worked on this for a couple of months. You can tell, can't you? This is by Helen Stewart for Curious Handmade. And this was a mystery knit along, and I was keeping up until I had to put it down and do the travel case and the bags for going to Cowslip. And this is a circular shawl, and I'm doing a little bit more of a fade than the pattern was. More of a block colour, I think. And I will put a picture in because it's a little bit difficult to share because it's so big. And these are a variety of colours I already had in stash. My final project I said I was going to have finished by the end of April. It's still in a project bag. But in my defence, apart from casting off, I have finished it as far as the pattern is concerned. But I am considering doing some more of the lace pattern repeats. And it's getting tangled. And this is the Winter on My Mind by Melanie Berg. And it's an asymmetrical shawl, which I am knitting in a lace weight yarn by the Wool Barn. This is the colourway Coal, and the colourway silver, and it was this lace that drew me to the pattern, so I'm thinking I would like more of it, perhaps a couple more pattern repeats. I know it will open up more when it is blocked, but I think that is such a lovely part of the pattern. I think I can get away with doing a few more repeats and not unbalancing the design. So those are all the projects that I have been working on. I'm sure that many of them will put in a reappearance as I work on them or fully finish them. Thank you for watching my video. Can't say vlog this time. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope to be back again a little bit quicker next time. Thank you. Bye.